Traditions have come and gone over 90 years, but one of the most talked about ones features the green beanies. These little hats were passed out to the boys to cover their shaved heads, a part of hazing then in vogue by the 1940s. The hats and the friendly hazing would endure until more organized social clubs such as men's and women's Greek organizations would be introduced in the 1960s. By the following fall quarter, the Green Book had been reformed to fit the request of the changing and growing student body. Dating privileges were extended for freshmen through senior girls. The hours for dates held to the dorm living rooms expanded from the original Saturday evenings only to include both Saturday and Sunday afternoons. Campus strolls and sitting in public as couples still had some pretty strict rules. Given that the campus was primarily female during those years, one can only assume that the ladies of campus already faced a daunting task of acquiring a date and only wanted a little relief from the complexities of setting up that date once it was secured. As noted in the 1944 Broom, a cluster of men was a reason to celebrate on campus. A girl should be two things, classy and fabulous, stated Coco Chanel. While she may not have been thinking of Delta State's student body in the early years, photographs prove that the ladies of campus managed quite the classy style while still holding to the 1935 Green Book stipulation that young women students are expected to appear on campus in conventional dress. Styles and fashion have come and gone across the quad and down the sidewalks of campus, but as Coco Chanel is credited as also saying, fashion changes, but style endures. And the ladies of Delta State appear always to have had style. Perhaps it was the high bar set by the ladies on campus, but the men of campus were dashing as well. The ladies followed the regulations outlined in the Green Book, but mention for proper attire for men is suspiciously omitted. Over time, the regulations on proper dress for the student body would lessen to the point where today's student body handbook does not have any mention of proper attire on a university campus. Portraits of past presidents and deans have become a tradition on campus, with the first a commissioned portrait of Dr. Ziegel painted by Nathan House, a Delta State graduate and close friend of Ziegel. Dr. Ziegel's portrait was installed in the Roberts Library, now the Art Department, in August of 1944. At the dedication program, it was stated, as one of the guiding hands of Delta State through its infancy and formative years, Dr. Ziegel contributed much to the ideals and spirit of Delta State and the upbuilding of what will become the richest traditions of the institution. During the presidency of Jimmy Carter, several of House's works hung in the Oval Office as part of the president's desire to promote Southern artists. World War II brought many changes to the landscape of Delta State. Tremendously influencing enrollment, the decline during the war years was as dramatic as the influx of veterans following the end of the war. The fall 1940 enrollment was 320 students. By the end of the war, enrollment had been reduced to 153. The war also took its toll on the faculty, many getting into the service. In 1943, Alex Dockery Dixon, Paul Reed McGee, Elizabeth Coburn Stamps, and James A. Ward were listed as being on military leave of absence. Due to the national emergency, the college discontinued intercollegiate athletics for the duration of the war. Special emphasis, however, was placed on physical fitness, and a strong program of intramural athletics was maintained. Many campus activities were restricted, the 1942 summer catalog indicating that the swimming pool may not be open because of a possible shortage of chemicals. The need to prepare young people for service to their country brought about the establishment of a civilian pilot training program in 1941. Former Cleveland Mayor Martin King married the only woman to be admitted into the civilian program, Sue Thweet King. Looking to the needs of the country and also to the end of the war, Delta State began to broaden its offerings. In 1943, the Board of Trustees authorized the offering of the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees. Also at this time, Delta State turned the large quadrangle into a wheat field, producing its own supply of wheat for the campus. Through the last decade of President Keithley's administration, the college campus prepared for the dramatic shift in student population and growth brought on by the end of World War II and the availability of the GI Bill. Accommodations were made to house veterans who returned from the war searching for an education. It was a period of curricular modifications and development to meet the needs of an unconventional but thriving student body. Another change, a situation quite different from the pre-war era, was the demand for married student accommodations. Trailers for married students appeared on campus, and in 1956, war surplus buildings were converted to student apartments. A guidance center was established in the National Guard Armory for the veterans, with Delta State faculty acting as consultants. The Veterans Club of Delta State would also be founded to provide student veterans an opportunity to meet and stay connected. The new buildings and organizations were only a reflection of the greater asset to Delta State, the student, who chose to further his education. Veteran and alumnus Hugh C. Smith became the youngest person among colleges and universities in the state appointed to the office of financial secretary in February of 1947. Smith had a strong influence in maintaining continuity in building construction that has added to the beauty of campus, an attribute that each succeeding president of the college has upheld through the years. As the 1940s came to a close, the tradition of recognizing students with the highest quality grade point average for 4 and 2 years was adopted, and honor students continued to be recognized at graduation to this day.